What was your rap name? You probably had it on a hat that you themed it on. The little letter was hanging all off. The E would have like the
I hate
middle
you. I totally had boom boom on a hat.
boom boom. That's right, boom boom.
I hate you so much for bringing that up. Get your ass off my show. Speaking of Jerome Solomon, in the house right now, joining me on the show, my dude. How are you, buddy?
What's up, brother man? Good. How are you, sir?
You sound busy. You can always tell when people say, "What's up?" that they're busy. What happened? Getting your lighting
Turn out the
right?
lights. You couldn't see nothing but my teeth, huh?
I didn't say that. I didn't. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Are you at the Chronicle Studios?
Yeah, because I'm shooting some stuff for TV and bunch of stuff going on.
I imagine it, especially after that Dave Culley press conference.
It was thrilling. It was thrilling. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they're parading him out there, and they're not handling it well. But that's the Texans. I'm not surprised. It would be so easy, even if it pissed the media off. All you have to do is just say, "Listen, Deshaun Watson's on the team right now, and that's it. And I'm not answering any more questions." You know. Or you can be a little more elaborate and say, "Hey, when we got here, we found out he didn't here. We're working on it, trying to fix that." And that's all I have nothing else to report. So no need to ask me another question about it. I mean, real simple.
It seems easy to come out and say, "Look, we understand what's going on. We would love him, and we're doing everything we can to keep him." Done.
Exactly.
Like
we want him here. We want him here as bad as everybody else does, and we're gonna do everything we can to keep it that way.
But the complete denial, his responses were like, "Are you serious? Like, you think people are believing what you're saying?" I don't think he believes what he's saying.
It was almost as if he was surprised he was going to be asked that question. I don't know. Didn't seem to be quite ready to answer it, but
I saw a report. I don't know if it was Josina Anderson or who reported it. He said that the Texans they're even discussing trading him internally. They're not talking. They're not responding to trade requests. They're not discussing trades externally, and they're not even talking about it internally. Do you believe that?
They haven't had any official meeting, I'm sure, but it would be ridiculous for them not to have had a conversation of, okay, if we don't get this to turn around, we have to move him. What are our options? What kind of bring back are we going to look at? Because you do your due diligence regardless. So you go, here is what I think we could get. Here's what I would want to say we got some equal value, because you put that line there of saying, this is what I want, even if it's at a ridiculous number, then you're able to measure what what kind of, offers you're getting. I mean, the best example I can think of is there was a newspaper in New Jersey, inside New York, that wanted to hire me to come work for them one time, and I knew damn well I didn't want to go there and didn't want to work in New Jersey. Fancy. So I just made up a crazy number and said, well, this is how much it's going to cost. They came back, they're like, we think we can do that. I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Oh, damn it.
That's just jokes. See, I didn't think y'all would pay me that much. How much does it cost to live up there? Can y'all pay me that and I stay here in Acres Hall?
Can I work remotely? Do I have to show up? Oh, yeah. That's the worst. When you think you throw out a ridiculous number, comedians will do that. You get some gig you don't want to do. You're like, I'm just going to say $3,000 and we'll see. And then they'll say no, and I don't have to do it. And you're like, $3,000. And they're like, okay. And you're like, fuck, I don't want to do this. It's hilarious.
That's how you got that Klan rally that time, huh? The anniversary Klan meeting. Cool. That was what you got paid. I'm glad you got paid. I thought you volunteered, but I was trying to tell people that you wouldn't do that. So now I can tell them you got paid, Barry. Well, you was wearing a sheet. Nobody knows you, but I did. I could tell.
What's the deal with crosses?
Have I got some sheet jokes for you?
Could you imagine trying to do it? There was a black comedian that did a set at
some imprints on it. Why, can I get floral patterns on my sheet? What difference does it make? It's a sheet.
Why have to be white? I mean, look, it's a good deal for a white sale, which I'm totally down with the name. There was a black comedian that did a set at a rally. I forget who it was. I want to Daryl Wright. Look it up. He literally did a set at a Klan rally, and he said that the crowd at first was like, "Well, yeah," and he got paid. I was like, "Bro, there's no way. There's no way." You couldn't like, hey, Barry, the Black Panther Party is looking for a comic, and we'd love for you to show up. I'd be like, no, I can refer you to some comedians. You think I'm going to get no?
All of a sudden, it's a party.
You see me out there telling my stupid ass, that's a bitch being married. Everybody else like, fuck you, Whitey. Like, no. That is not happening.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Not. What is the worst venue you've ever played?
The worst thing I ever had to do, it was a tie. One of them was a biker bar where there were 3, count them 3, not just like, oh, we're former veterans and we protect kids that get bullied riding. We're talking Hell's Angels and those type of biker. It was 3 of them having a meeting at the biker bar we were doing a set at. And I pulled up, and there are literally hundreds of bikes, and I didn't know that was going to be. And then when I got there, they were like, oh, yeah, sorry. They just show up. They don't really announce it because if other biker gangs find out, they will come up and there will be a big shootout. And I was like, what? What if word gets out now? Like, we're going to be here for 90 minutes. So that, and then I...
Crossfire.
Do what?
You'd be caught in crossfire.
Bro. But they were the nicest people, like on stage. Like when I was on stage, nobody heckled, nobody said, nobody paid attention. They were all outside plotting the demise of other rival gangs. But yeah, they didn't bother me while I was on stage. The worst one, worse than that, was I did an old folks home, and I'm not talking about like, oh, it's assisted living. This was like, this is assisted dying. They were
crossing over. They were crossing over as you were telling. You killed.
The lights on the stage were from God. Like they were all walking to those lights. It was so old. Andy Huggins did it with me. I don't know if he's still here.
Like, no, those are not just stairs, bro. that's heaven over there.
You go up them stairs, you ain't coming back. Andy Huggins did this gig with me, and he was young, and he was 68, 69 at the time, and he was like a young man, right? And I'll never forget, Jerome, I'm on stage and I go first. I'm host. I ended up booking it, and I'm first, and I'm like, so my grandma, I'm trying to tell grandma jokes and shit. And this old lady, she's sitting in the front. She's so fragile, bro. She's probably like fucking 90 years old, and she's got a little shawl, and she's just like, she looks at me, dead ass looks at me and goes, hey, can we just play bingo instead? I was like, oh my God. I'm fucking dying right now. I was
like, I don't have much time left. How much more of it are you going to waste, sir?
Right.
I mean, damn.
I am literally on my last leg, and you are wasting my time with these stupid ass jokes. I'm trying to win bingo. I'm trying to go out a winner. You over here fucking around on stage. Oh, it was the worst. Those two had to be the worst. And the only guy that did good was like 78 years old. His name was Dick Kendall, and he murdered the place, as you can expect.
That was his wheelhouse.
Yeah, Will wheelhouse.
Where was his biker bar?
The biker bar was in Springs to a railroad track. It was called, I don't remember the name of it. It was, I just remember.
You broke up. It was in Spring?
It was in Spring, Texas, right next to a railroad track. I forget the name of it. Do you remember a comedian in town named Ed Blake? Did you ever run with him? Him and Billy D were pretty good friends. No. I know you know Billy. He's the one that booked it.
Billy's like my older great uncle kind of guy. You know, he's much older than I am. So, if he was hanging with somebody, I wouldn't.
I'm going to pass that along. Don't you worry. I'm going to let Billy know you said that. You got better hair than you do, though. I'm going to tell you that right now. Jerome's like, this interview is over.
Actually, I was honored at my high school the other day.
Oh, really?
The other day, last night. And it was from the band. And I know Billy D played in like the stage band in high school.
Did he really?
Yeah. He was a band member.
So y'all went to high school together?
No. I went to the real Rams, Waltrip Rams. He went to the artificial Rams. He
went to the Sheeps. My mom went to Waltrip. I feel like these were different eras.
Your mama went to Waltrip?
Huh?
Really?
Yeah.
Your mama went to Waltrip?
Don't.
Oh, wow.
Don't say you dated my mom in high school, Jerome. Don't say you dated my mom in high school.
Who would go there? What kind of a low life would take that kind of information and what she look like?
What's her maiden name? Does she walk with a limp now? Tell the truth, Barry. Does she limp? Does she walk a little crooked?
What you call her? You call her mama? We used to call her little mama. Same thing, I know, but I mean.
I wonder why she was a big fan of your writing. I love Jerome's articles. Is that what we're calling it now? His articles? You love his articles, huh? Okay. Yeah, I see how that goes. Listen, Mom. You're not my dad, are you? Wait a minute. Is that why I have good rhythm? What's going on? Oh, my God. As this Texans thing, I know you got to get out. I know you do. It's 3:47. You joined. I appreciate you joining because I know how busy you are. Is this Texans thing ever going to be resolved? Or do we have to wait for Russell Wilson to go to the Bears first, which is the big rumor right now?
Man, that Russell Wilson thing is actually pretty weird because I don't know how you can grow tired of Russell Wilson. I just don't understand that. I mean, the Texans situation is different in that the Texans, the last thing they want is for Deshaun to go. Seattle's like, look, dude, we don't even want you anymore. And like, have y'all been there with your team for the last however long he's been there? Are you serious? This guy's too good of a player, too good in the community, brings too much to the table. I'll put up with some quirks or whatever else he's got. I mean, forget all that. The dude can play, and he's done great things for you. Why does anybody ever want to start over? It makes no sense. It's the same with I keep hearing about the Texans. People are like, oh man, no, you get Tua. Yeah, and if you're lucky, Tua will be as good as Deshaun Watson in a few years. If you're lucky, most likely, and it's not a prediction because I call these are not even predictions because it's almost automatically going to be true. I can flat out say Tua would never be as good as Deshaun Watson.
Fact. Yeah, I believe that.
Don't make me no genius. It's just the odds are so much against it. I'm most likely going to be right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you don't ever want to start over and try to get somebody up to the spot where your guy already is. You've done all that hard work. You watched the growing pains. Granted, his growing pains weren't as much because he hit the ground running, but still. And but Russell Wilson, no, you got to ride that out until you ride it out. And again, the odds are he might not win another Super Bowl, but you have a better chance of winning with him than whoever the hell you're going to put.
Yeah, there's about 3 names that you could bring in that would maybe increase your chances slightly, but that's about it. And if you ain't bringing in those 3 names, you're going backwards.
And that's and it's I know it's not as simple as I make it out to be, but I think some of these teams and these organizations need to be more simple in how they see things. Like Green Bay, I'm sure, and I know you worked with Joe for a long time, so probably had this conversation before, but there were times when people in Green Bay were like, well, let's move on from Aaron Rodgers. Like, okay, he's kind of a jerk sometimes, and he's this and that, and he wants all the money, and okay, but do you really want to try to go out there without him? You know, and of course, now we can look back and go, see, he only won 1 Super Bowl. Still,
he won a Super Bowl.
I'd rather not win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers than not win a Super Bowl with,
Mitch Trubisky.
Running through. Right. Yeah. You want to not win a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins? That kind of a thing. Hell no. Give me an Aaron Rodgers where at least before the season I thought I had a chance.
Right.
Yep. I might get to his retirement and realize we didn't, but No, that I don't, and that's the Texans are in that situation with Deshaun is much younger and just, but Russell Wilson, man, I
The
don't
rumor
listen to
being
that
floated
guy.
around, Vegas took his odds of where he would land off the board, and then they increased the Bears' odds of winning a division and a title. And so everybody is making the leap that, well, it looks like if Vegas is doing that, you got to be like, oh, because they always are going to. So it looks like Russ might be a Chicago Bear. So my last question to you is, whatever the Bears give up to get Russell Wilson, can we expect the Texans to get more, less, or the same?
They're supposed to get more, if only because the Bears they don't have a pick in the top 5, with some of the teams that'll be in the running with the Texans. And you can get more because you should be trading with a team to give you a quarterback that you can at least hope can develop into a player, where I don't think Seattle wants any of the Bears quarterbacks, right? So, and Deshaun is just younger. I mean, he's Russell Wilson has been better, but I think over the next 5 years, Deshaun Watson will be better. I'd still roll with Russell Wilson. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, and again, depends on who you're trading with. So I would think, and the Texans should have a hard line on a trading partner where if they're going to trade Deshaun Watson, they need high draft picks, not just first round draft picks. You pick a 20th. No, you need teams like the Jets, who's got some
Miami,
picks in the top
3 and 8.
Miami.
Yeah,
that's why you got to be teams this year. Because if you wait, then next year you don't know who's going to finish where. I mean, the Dolphins got all these high picks, but next year's pick could be in the 20s. They could be a playoff team,
especially if they have Deshaun Watson.
If they get Deshaun Watson, right? Yeah. So,
well, it's going to be interesting.
The Bears. But Seattle, I just don't know what Seattle's doing. I really don't.
I don't get it.
I don't know. I know the Bears have a couple of defensive players, and but man, that would be a weird trade. I'd have to see all the particulars.
I always felt like Seattle was a very balanced and well-run organization, so it is a bit surprising to see them pull this. This is something I would expect from the Texans to be like, yeah, we don't need Russell Wilson. Not something I would expect from Pete Carroll and Seattle. It is a very strange thing going on.
To be fair to them,
yeah,
we will start hearing, things from, about Russell Wilson.
Why?
That make us change our mind. He didn't want white toilet paper. He needed red and black checkered toilet paper.
Right.
And he only used the red to wipe with, that kind of leaving little black squares all over the toilet. We don't know. We don't know what's going to be.
It's going to be something weird, right? They're going to try to make him look bad. They're going to try to make him look. This is why we moved on, and it might be some weird shit, like you said. But
I do know for a fact that he was fine with his teammates, but he wasn't like he's so down and so cool that his teammates just worshipped him or have worshipped him and loved him. They were cool because he could play, but that doesn't bother me. Kobe Bryant was like that.
Yeah.
Because when he was young, he didn't hang out with his teammates. He wasn't kicking it in strip clubs and partying like a lot of those guys wanted to. And Russell Wilson is like, y'all, we can go to church Saturday night. We can do that. They're like, no, we're going to go chase some hoes, man. You going on, do what you got to do.
I mean, look, Jordan wasn't hanging out with all, with Scotty and those guys. That was a business transaction.
Jordan would kick a little bit. Yeah, Jordan hung out.
I mean, everybody, I thought
he would roll into the nightclub with the team, and
if you watch
like
Last Dance, they all pretty much hated him. It felt like the way he did them and the way he talked to them and the way he, they didn't want to hang out with that dude.
But that's at work. At work, he wasn't no joke. Yeah, he was hard. Pippen and him got along real well. But no, at work he was tough. Now that one part of the Last Dance was when he was a rookie. And this went throughout his career.
Oh, the drug thing, yeah.
He wasn't hanging up with the dope. Yeah. He wasn't hanging up with the dope heads. Yeah, that was a different crop. By the time it was his team, and he controlled that team. Oh no, the Bulls did some party. They had a good time.
Fair enough.
They would have a good time.
Jerome, I appreciate you, buddy. How can everybody find you? Tell them how they can find you on social media.
Jerome Solomon on Twitter, and obviously watch the shows, man. Sunday morning, the radio show is good stuff. And Sunday night, the TV shows really have been killing it. The ratings are going up, which is amazing. We thought they'd level off right now, but they haven't. So that's a pretty good sign
that we're doing a great job, man.
That's keeping people interested. So having, and I'm there. So people turn TV on, they see me, and they're just stuck. Like, what?
Who is this boy handsome?
What he on TV for? And they just sit there for like 15, 20 minutes. I get the rating because somebody they were watching, and they're like, man, I should have turned it, but I'm confused.
I think what happens is them loud ass shirts you wear, they're just like stunned. It's like they just have a seizure when they see these shirts. They're just like, and they can't fucking get to the clicker. That's what happens.
You mean these shirts that I buy as opposed to begging people to send to me? The shirts you talk about, them be the shirts?
I paid for this shirt. Actually, bro, I'm so broke now, I got to make my own. I went out, I had to buy a bunch of Hanes white tees and some Sharpies.
You iron your shirt for the letters. You like dude used to work at the print shop at the mall when he was 15.
Flea market ass shirt wearing host.
What was your rap name? You probably had on a hat that you themed it on. The little letter was hanging all off. The E would have like the.
I totally had boom boom on a hat.
Boom boom. That's right, boom boom.
I hate you so much for bringing that up. Get your ass off my show.
Boom boom.
Y'all, that's Jerome Solomon.
We're gonna do a documentary on boom boom one of these days.
Let's do it.
The boom boom.
The stupidest rap name ever.
And then comma in parentheses, Lord.
Lord. Oh my God. Oh, the hat. That's Jerome Solomon, everybody.
You tell people about your full-fledged rap career. Hey.
Say hi to my mom for me.
Oh, yeah. Right now. Let's see. No, you should tell somebody.
Hello? Yeah, I'm on with him right now. I'll call you back. Oh my God, yeah, appreciate you, Jerome.
Stuff, man.
Daddy's making a YouTube video.